I'm Kim, and I'm one of the coordinators for the Cascadia Tantra Festival. And today I did a Facebook Live with my friends Gerard and Dawn from Boulder, Colorado, to talk about the festival and what it is they're bringing. So I'd like to turn you on to the conversation already underway.
The opportunity for people to take a little bit of time. It's not like an explore. It's not like there's 10 sessions a day and you have to keep checking them down the list. You know, you can fit this into your life, how it fits in, and you can explore in a way that works for you. You know, it's kind of like you're presenting it with grace, which rather than being bombarded, you know, with, sometimes people have to compact to put everything into a day, but it's nice to be able to just take a breath and expand and explore with yourself or with a partner.
And I want to add to that, because I so appreciate, we really had to decide, were we going to impact it on a weekend or were we going to spread it in the 10 days? And then it stays available for 30 days after. We record the white and the pink workshops. The erotic workshops will not be recorded and they won't be watchable but later, but all the white and the pink ones will. So thanks for that, Gerard. That's exactly right.
So we are so we're in Boulder, Colorado, and we are a couple of 22 and a half years now. And we started offering Tantra and sacred sexuality about 18 years ago. And we have a company here in Boulder called Tantric Sacred Journeys. And we work with couples, with individuals, teaching private sessions, workshops, events, classes. And, you know, since these last 9 months, we've been doing more and more virtual classes, virtual workshops, and really, you know, finding the nuances of how connecting virtually can feel intimate and can feel connected for individuals and for couples. And it's not the same as being in person. We all know that, but there's still incredible value. And we've been really enjoying the value that can come from connecting with people virtually. So excited and happy that you're doing this. We were a part of the Oregon Tantra Festival, and that was just another beautiful 10 days. And so we're just happy to be here.
Well, and that one, when we first, that kind of happened, like, oh my gosh, we've got a festival all booked, what do we do now? And we jumped onto this Zoom idea before it was really as caught on as it is. And I was very concerned that to translate what I know we do with intimacy, and so much of it is embodiment and human to human contact and touch that way. And it translated so much easier and beautifully than I anticipated. So I actually, last time I was kind of going in a little trepidatious about it. And this time I'm going in like, oh, we can really, this is a beautiful way to help me keep my practice alive, be with people of like mind, do exploration around the energetics around. We use the term Tantra. I know it's Neo-Tantra. It's New Tantra. It's how we have translated it to suit and to fit and to serve the culture in which we live right now. So tell me a little bit about the classes you both will be offering.
Do you want to?
Go ahead, you start.
So the first one on January 9th is going to be exploring from a tantric heart space. And it will be a pink event, because we will have it'll be fully clothed, no nudity, but we will have some intimacy connections, intimacy teachings, talking about sensuality, sexuality, and it will really be focused on the blend of, it'll be for beginners, but it'll also be for people who are somewhat seasoned in Tantra and sacred sexuality, as a reminder for those people who have some experience to how to step back in. Because, you know, during these last 9 months, some people have not stepped into these practices. And so this will be a reminder for people who are familiar. This will be a great introduction for people who are not familiar with Tantra and sacred sexuality. So there will be some educational pieces around what is Tantra and how can I bring some tantric practices into my life that will enhance my life as an individual, as a person, regardless of whether you're in relationship or not, and how will these practices enhance and benefit being in relationship, whether it's intimate relationship or relationship with your kids or your coworkers or your parents. So it'll be a blend of education, and then we'll have a lot of we'll do some breakout rooms where people will have the opportunity to practice some of these doing tantric practices and exercises, so that people can really have a somatic experience of what is this tantra thing anyway, and specifically focusing not only but specifically focusing on tantric heart space. How do we allow our hearts, invite our hearts to be soft, to be open, to be accessible, to both and listening and holding space. So a lot of the practices will revolve around not being the perfect listener or the perfect sharer or having a blown open heart, but how do I invite my heart to just melt even a little bit so that there's more space, more availability to being open to heart energy, which is compassion and intimacy and connection and love, big love.
And, you know, I love that, you know, the theme of this festival this year is Deeper in Love. That's the title of the festival. And the thing that I really heard you just say is how those practices that we are so integrated with is such a beautiful pathway into how I can feel the anxiety of what's going on all around us wherever we land on this culture that we're living in, whichever thing, and that there's so much going on right now that causes us, but me, to contract, pull in, stay home, be still, don't go out, don't have and those contractions can really then start to take over, and I start to live in that contracted space. And so what I'm excited about for the whole festival, but really your workshop, what you just said, is that practice time of, even in this time of so much heavy contraction, that we can have some facilitated, please support me, and we want to support our participants in having time in that open space, and how that is what's going to, right? That's what's going to keep us alive and vital and healthy during this time.
Yeah,
that's right.
Thank
so
you.
Important.
Yeah, and I'd like to invite and remind people that, you know, this is an opportunity to explore your energy and to connect with others. You know, this is Zoom. It's, you know, like we said, we're not in person, but this isn't a business meeting. You know, this isn't a practical thing that you know, you just have to, you know, do this and be there. This is an exploration, and it's so sweet in a way that I feel people really benefit from hearing other people share from different parts of their being. And then we go, oh, I'm not alone. I'm not the Lone Ranger. You know, I'm not the only person that's feeling this frustration, but now I can feel this compassion or this connection.
Yeah.
And, you know, that you really get the opportunity from my experience that, you know, that we've done this before in your workshop and some other ones, that people are like, oh my God, or my goddess, this is like, I didn't know I would feel this connected to this person who's 1,000 miles away.
Yeah.
And that's a testament to the power of human connection, human love, and and being able to, you know, be present with what you're feeling, and knowing that it's okay to share that. And that's what I think is beautiful too about this festival, is that, and our workshop too, we really hold a sacred and safe space and for people to go as deep as they want and explore, go as deep as you want, in a way that's good for you, in a way that serves you. You know, it's like Dawn said, it's not about blowing the lid off everything.
Yeah.
You know, it's about, oh, let's open this door a little bit and see what's there. And then maybe we can open it a little bit more, like, oh, that's interesting.
Just give a little breath, and a little ease to our hearts, which have been, you know, this has been a rough time. It's been a rough time for a lot of people.
Which reminds me also that we can, our participants can attend as a single individual. They can attend and bring a partner along. They could attend and bring a couple of partners if that's their COVID pod. And so a lot of what we do, I know that's your second workshop, can be working with somebody in person if you have someone that you're going to bring to either a part of the festival or all of the festival. Last time we had a number of people who their partner only wanted to come to a couple of the classes, and they did them all, and that was great too. So because your second class that you're offering, tell us about that one.
Yeah, so that one is sensual tantric massage, and we have it listed as for couples or pairs. Now, if there's someone in a group, if there are 3 people, 4 people, that's fine. What we're encouraging and asking for is that people do participate with someone on screen, with them, their same space, as we are going to be talking about sensual tantric touch and massage. We'll be giving information about, and this will be read, so there will be some nudity.
And I believe you're receiving, correct?
Very sacred. We haven't decided yet how.
We'd like to do it both ways, but there's not enough.
We're talking about it. We don't have the details worked out yet, but we'll give people some instruction around different modalities of touch, tantric touch and tantric massage, benefits for really slowing down touch, because it's such an important element of how to awaken and open someone's energy body to being able to fully receive, is to really slow down, to add breath, to add sound, different modalities of touch. And then maybe we'll have time to have people, we'll definitely have time for people to experience either being giver or receiver, or we have time, this is the part we're not positive about yet, we have some time to figure this out, whether if there's 2 people sharing a space, they may have some time to each have an opportunity to give some and to receive some. But there's a time to really allow yourself as a participant to be guided in some tantric, sacred, sensual touch, to be in a group environment where everyone who's on screen participating is being a part of the same activity at the same time, which brings group energy of, we're touching each other, and 2,000 miles away, this other couple or pair of friends or beloveds, they're touching each other. And there's power in this communal, sensual, erotic, tantric touch that is, what I've experienced with this is that it is just so beautiful to know that I and my beloved are connecting this way, and 1,000 miles away or 2,000 miles away or 100 miles away, these other people are engaged in the same activity.
Yeah. I have to say that was one of my highlights at the last festival, was we had a number of workshops that were along that model in different ways. But what I enjoyed so much was filling my screen with all these tiny little pictures of people who are all in the field of love. That's what's happening. And there may be, when mentioned there's some light nudity that's possible, and that could be going across the screen, but it's very different than anything I have seen or felt before. We do ask for no genitals on screen, and so that's not generally focused. It's not, it doesn't feel like porn. It doesn't feel like sex. It feels like love, this collective love that we are all sharing. And that the other thing that comes in that for me, and a number of my clients just really felt this, and that is how much healing around their body shame or sexual shame or any of those resistances that we have been enculturated to have around our bodies and our sex, to be in what's really a ritual, to really be in sacred space with 20 other folk, or however many it turns out to be, really gives frees some of those chains that we have been given and been wrapped in that we don't even know we have. And so I love those experiences. I'm just delighted to have you both come do that, and I'll be attending. I attend many of them.
Yeah, that was very well said, what you just said. So thank you, Kim. Yeah, I mean, we're just really looking forward to both classes, but in the second class, giving you folks information about tantric touch and erotic touch and sensual touch, and then leading you through techniques and moves that, like you said, we're all going to be doing it at the same time, and we're all going to be doing it. It's not like you have to do it like me or like her, because we all do it differently. But that's part of the beauty of it, is to discover in yourself ways to connect and touch that maybe you haven't quite tried or explored yet. And I know some of these techniques that we're teaching, when I learned them, I'm like, oh, how come I haven't tried that? Or how come I haven't done that?
I know.
And I'm the giver, and Dawn's the receiver, and she's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that feels so good. And especially when you do it slow, where I can breathe with your movement, it's not about getting it done. It's not about doing it right. It's about being present and being connected and breathing together and touching together and moving together. And we're all doing this, like we all just said, around the country, around the world.
Yeah. I call it sensual improv. Like, I'm going to give you a little prompt, and then you're going to sensually improv and make it your own. And when I watch the screen and I see how many ways it can look, I'm so inspired and activated, which is another thing that a lot of my clients come to Tantra Festival for, and that is to get activated and to wake up some sleepy libido. We can get, especially in these times, the libido, mine gets pretty sleepy. And this is where I love another thing you and I taught, that you both and I really agree on, is I also tell my clients, I'm sending them to the erotic gym, that you're going to go and you're going to play it, that you're going to go to the gym. Even if you're not feeling it, you might not feel like doing your practice or feel like being physically in contact with someone, but like going to the gym, I don't know anybody that after, or I think of a yoga class, after a good yoga class goes, oh, that wasn't any good. I didn't like it.
Or I feel worse. I feel more sleepy. I feel less open. I feel more contracted. It's so important to step in and do these practices, just like going to the gym, even if you don't feel like it. Let the practice change how you feel. Don't wait until you're in the mood to do the practice, because sometimes we're not in the mood. And lately, less and less in the mood. More and more people share that they're less and less in the mood. And what we tell our clients is do it anyway. Do it anyway, and notice, be willing to just step in, even if it's for 10 minutes or 15 minutes
Right.
or half an hour. You don't have to dedicate hours. Sometimes you don't have that energy, but if we just step in for a short amount of time and allow ourselves to feel the benefit of when we show up, what changes, when we step into a practice, what's possible. Allow ourselves to feel what's possible. And 99.9% of the time, the difference is remarkable.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, I wasn't in the mood, but wow, I did this, and now I feel more connected. Now I feel more alive. Now I have more energy. Now I feel more connected to myself. I feel more connected to my partner.
Yeah.
I know that the next time I'll know what that time benefited, and now I'll be more willing to step in.
Yeah, and you know what's really interesting too, Kim, is that you know, in a relationship, and if you're a couple pairs, one person often goes, I just don't have the energy. I feel too worn out. I just don't. I just really I need to receive, and it's kind of interesting. Sometimes you're like, okay, yeah, you do, and then that person receives, and then they have more to give. However, sometimes when you're feeling like, yeah, I'm not sure I really can get into this right now, and you start doing it, you start realizing, oh, I'm giving to this person, but I'm actually receiving a lot of energy and a lot of love, because this person's breathing and sounding and going, oh, enjoying and compliments,
and
going, oh, it feels so good. And now I'm going, oh, I didn't think I had much energy, but she's into this, and so I'm getting more into it now too. So it's interesting, because as you give, you're actually receiving, and when you fully receive, you're also giving to the person that's giving to you, because you're giving them that gift of being fully present and receiving their gift. So it's a win-win.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. Yep. I know that we have that in common, of working with clients who, when they come often because they want to learn how to do it better. And when I tell them that what they want to, number one thing they got to do is they've got to learn how to receive, because if you can't let it land, your partner never feels felt, because it didn't land anywhere, because you're just giving, doing. But if I got a place to receive, then when I receive, I give, and then when I give, I receive. So practicing that is such a, that's one of my key homeworks, is to figure out how to practice receiving.
Yes.
Well, I'm just really delighted that we got to have this time to chat and be online and talk to the folk out there. There's a registration link below this website, below this video. It'll be in the comments, where you can go and register, where you can see the website, you can see all the other presenters. And we hope you'll come check it out and come join us. It's January. Oh, I don't know the dates by heart. January.
I think it's the 8th.
Yeah, January 8th. Thank you. And there's 3 or 4 classes a day, every day, and you can attend them live or watch them later on the video, on the repeat recording. And the other thing that happens in there that I wanted to comment on too, Gerard, that you mentioned, is we have pods where we have an opportunity throughout the 10 days to come into small groups of 5 and be able to talk about what it is that's going through you, what's moving, what's this experiencing doing for you. And we have some pods with topics. So we have the general pods, and then we have specific LGBTQ pods, and then we have specific pods for people of color. And so really wanting to support the unique characteristics of different groups of folk, and then there's the everyone group, and so those pods are powerful. And the friendships, I've watched friendships, whether it's our in-person festivals or our online ones, really meet people and get to know people and have a new infusion of folk when I'm feeling so uninfused with new folk. So I'm looking forward to that part too.
Right.
So, yeah.
It's a place where you can constantly see people's expressions on their face. They're smiling, you know, whatever they're doing. It's something about watching someone's mouth, you know, and seeing their smile that, you know, that's been like taken away in a big way from us in general going out in the world. And, you know, we're learning how to smile more with our eyes.
Yeah.
And I see more people and they give you that twinkle and I'm like, yeah, I'll give you a
With
twinkle.
masks.
With
Yeah,
masks.
With
Yeah.
masks on, right?
Yeah.
And in this case, the other part that's so surprisingly intimate is that people bring you into their homes and into their bedrooms and into their,
That's really sweet.
you know, it's very sweet to come in and actually be with somebody right with their cat over their shoulder on their.
It is.
Yeah.
So,
And you don't have to pay for airfare and hotels.
no airfare, no housing, no, don't got to take time off work. So thank you both so much. Appreciate you.
Thank you for all you do, you and Amara and Ray, and, you know, as organizers, so much work and so much dedication and so much love, so much love. Perfect name for the festival. Yeah, so much love. Thank you for all your love.
Yes.
So welcome. Thank you, darlings. So appreciate. Okay, so